Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with last night's Monday Night Raw. It seems we're on the road to Battleground, and the one best thing about Battleground is the champ is here! Ooh, I forgot to spin it. Hold on. Oh, yeah, baby. John Cena is our new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and he's going to be main eventing the Battleground pay-per-view. Last night they set up the big main event, the four-way. I think that honestly, Battleground is looking to be set up as a very good show. Whenever you have a fatal four-way in the main event, honestly, to me, the match. If you go back to the fatal four-way 2010 pay-per-view, that was a sort of throwaway pay-per-view. If you look at last year's Battleground pay-per-view, that was sort of a throwaway pay-per-view. Basically, everyone wants to get down to the nitty-gritty. Everybody wants to get to SummerSlam. It's one of the main reasons why WWE doesn't do a pay-per-view between the Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania. Just because after somebody wins the Rumble, somebody wins the Elimination Chamber, everything's set in stone. We just want to get to the big one. You know, the pay-per-view poster has already been released. Everybody knows Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at SummerSlam, and with John Cena winning the titles at Money in the Bank, it didn't have to happen. This could have been a non-title match, much like the last time they had a match at Extreme Rules. But this is for the big one. This is for the big daddy of them all. Brock Lesnar is going to be going after not only the poster boy to get that big win back, but he's going to be going after becoming the champion. That was one of the big things that I thought that Lesnar should have done earlier in his WWE run when he was around, is get those belts, get those straps. It's been a long time, that he's been back 2 years, and now he's finally getting that first shot at the titles. But getting away from that and getting back to where we're going now, I think that this set of guys in the main event is an awesome way to do it. You get a small taste of Roman Reigns going after the championship for the second time in his career. I do think that, much like with the Money in the Bank, I think that he does have a chance to win. You never know what could happen once you get in there. That's why they play the game. But when Roman does it, it needs to be in the singles. I think that maybe you might do it if he's in his first shot at the championship. He's a dark horse. He just wins it on a fluke, and then you're off and running from there. I think that would have been a good way to do it. But I think now with Roman Reigns, it's going to be the slow build to the top, and then once he gets it, it's going to be, no doubt in your mind that Roman Reigns is going to be a good champion. John, honestly, is the number one guy. You can see how the deck is stacked against him. With Kane and Randy Orton, sort of being the authority whipping boys. I don't really know if you can bring up Evolution anymore. They're not really playing off Seth Rollins as being in Evolution. I haven't seen that thrown around. I've seen Seth Rollins wear the t-shirt, but nothing really pointed at him. I loved how everybody went bananas as John Cena had all this presented at him. Where basically Triple H and Steph brought him out to the ring to congratulate him on the big win. They grant him, the cover of the WWE 2K video game, a game that I won't buy. But I probably will get hyped up once somebody is announced for it. I think the big person everybody knows is that Sting's going to be in it. I remember when the Brock Lesnar commercial came out for the one a couple of years ago. That made me want to buy it. Last year's Undertaker case. Made me want to buy that one, but I got smart and I canceled that one before it came out because I was like, I'm going crazy over an Undertaker autograph when I've got 3 of these Undertaker autographs sitting on my wall already. Why do I need an autographed baseball card that I'm never going to look at? I honestly have no clue where that Stone Cold one came. I remember when I opened that case and I put it somewhere for safekeeping, and I don't have a damn clue where the hell I put it for safekeeping. I don't know if it's in one of my wrestling boxes or what, but someday I will find it. And that's gonna be it. I wish Stone Cold was in this match. John Cena, no doubt in my mind, is gonna win this. But I think this is setting up to be a good pay-per-view. You got the Fatal 4-Way. You got the Intercontinental title. Battle Royal, which is, it sucks for Wade Barrett. They're going to strip him this soon. You got Swagger versus Rusev, AJ versus Paige, and then you got, oh shit, when I was getting ready, there was another match I should have wrote down, but this is looking forward to be a good pay-per-view. They're all good. Oh, Jericho versus Jericho versus Bray Wyatt. That's gonna be your next match. I mean, this is setting up to be a good show. I think a lot of people are gonna be pumped for this. You don't have to worry about throwing the $40 down. WWE Network, $9.99 a month. We're gonna get down, and this is one of those months where if you would have signed up, you would have got some damn good stuff out of it. Hell yeah. Fatal 4-way. John Cena's getting the win, but it's going to be a fun ride. You know they're going to tease Roman Reigns winning that championship 1,000 times. And Orton and Kane, pretty much teaming up. They're going to try and wreck some shit. Cena, though. Yeah, baby. Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you today. I made a video talking about the Fatal 4-way match at the upcoming big pay-per-view Battleground. And I talked a lot about the Fatal 4-way. I talked about the other matches that are out there. Bray Wyatt and Jericho, your Intercontinental Championship, Battle Royal, and everything like that. How did I forget about what I think is going to be the main event? The reason that you need to get off your butt and make sure you watch this show. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose is going to tear the house down. Anything that you've been seeing on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown with these guys going after each other, and the way that just Ambrose ran full force into that match at Money in the Bank, going after Seth Rollins to teach him a lesson and just beat him down, and just the way those guys, went out to kill each other. It's our first real time seeing Dean Ambrose wrestle as a singles wrestler, going out there, and his sort of gimmick is just sort of, I don't know if they're bringing back the greasers. I keep on feeling like, they're going to have Cherry and Cliff Compton come rolling out there in their leather jackets and their wife beater shirts. I just really am feeling what Dean Ambrose is doing right now. I really, truly believe that he does want to kill Seth Rollins. I think that when they do have this match, I don't know if it's just going to be some sort of a normal match or if they're going to actually do some sort of a stipulation and make it feel like it's much bigger than it really is. But it's going to be awesome. I mean, that is by far the one match that I care more about than anything else. I know that with Ambrose right now having the hurt shoulder and portraying that gimmick where it's hard for him to put on his leather jacket and everything like that as he's leaving the event on Backstage Pass. I can really see that he doesn't even really care about the briefcase. I don't think he really cares about winning the match. I think he just wants to just bash Rollins' head in. That's why I'd pick Rollins to win the match. And I think that his main objective and his main goal right now is just to make sure that even if he doesn't win this match, make sure that he beats Seth Rollins down enough that it takes him out of the equation for the Money in the Bank, where he wouldn't be able to cash in that night. I don't think he really thinks he's going to be going after the win. It's sad to see the Shield break up, but I mean, like the things that we're getting out of this is well worth it. I mean, that's why teams break up. You can't be a tag team forever. If the Hart Foundation would have stayed together, we never would have got Bret the Hitman Hart going on those title runs and all that with Team Canada. And Bret screwed Bret because he would have been held down by Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Jimmy Hart and all that jazz. But Battleground, I think it's going to be a good one. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. They got my money. It brings me back to when Beer Money broke up. I think that was the last tag team that broke up that I was just like, I gotta see this shit. And when they tore the house down at Lockdown, and James Storm super kicked Bobby Roode and he fell out of the cage. Roode got the win, even though he was hurt by the move. It's just the way the match was set up. That you really hurt and you really felt bad for Storm. Why he never got a rematch out of that deal, I got no clue. But Bobby Roode went on to be one of the longest running TNA champions, and then he's never won the title again since he lost it but that's just the way the ball rolls sometimes. Roode's still up there. He's one of the #1 guys in TNA, and we're gonna have to see. Ambrose, I think a lot of people think that Ambrose is going to be a big star. Rollins, definitely, I think he's going to be a big star. Roman Reigns already in the title match for Battleground in the Fatal 4-way, so it looks like he's already on the way. So the Shield breakup, I think we did good. They'll find a new sort of team to put together, and we'll move on from there. Peace out, everybody. Hey, what up, everybody? I'm sitting here on my lunch. Damn, it's a long day today. I stayed up way too late last night talking about UFC. Going to work today. I'm on my lunch. I'm sitting here listening to the JR show on my iPod, and I'm falling asleep. So I was like, hey, what is out there that I can talk to you guys about? A little bit of wrestling going on in the world these days. Go out there, search through all the wrestling news sites. Not a damn story in sight. I don't know if WWE's not running shows because of the 4th of July weekend and there's just no news or anything going out there. So I dipped around. I've already talked about a few of the matches that have already been named for Battleground. But I thought I would give you a little bit of my insight on the upcoming Intercontinental Championship Battle Royal. I think it sucks that they stripped Wade Barrett so fast. I don't know why the plans have changed. I don't know if I don't even really know this how bad the Wade Barrett injury is. If his shoulder is just torn to shreds, or is he to have surgery and needs to be gone for 6 months. But it sucks for this guy because, for so many years, there's been a lot of people that have come out and say they're Wade Barrett fans. They want to see this guy get pushed as the major heel. I don't think he's ever really had a babyface run. We've seen her as the leader of the Nexus. In my mind, I have no clue why they didn't put the strap on him back in 2010. I think he would be a different kind of character today if they would have had the confidence behind him and gave it to him at that point. But I think he'd be a lot better than what Jack Swagger is today. Jack Swagger got the strap in 2011? I can't remember what year that was. 2010 is when I went to SummerSlam. That was started in Nexus. Around Survivor Series is when he really should have won it. He should have won that one, but then we never would have got the cash into the Miz. That would have been great. But, Swagger, he cashed in his short little run, and, I think he's still got a lot left in the tank to give WWE. I think there's a lot of people who don't really like Jack that much, so I'm really looking forward to see how this babyface run works for him, and hopefully he can get people jumping back on board with this. But they did strip him, and at that thing, my iPad went to sleep. So far in this Battle Royal, we've got Rob Van Dam, which seems to be getting added into about any kind of match that just they don't really need him in. I know that he went to the Los Angeles tapings at Staples Center. He asked to sort of get brought back into the plans for WWE. He didn't know why he wasn't in the fold for WrestleMania. And it seems like ever since he came back with this return, he's just been sort of put into just about anything that doesn't matter in the long run. We've seen him in the Money in the Bank. I don't think anybody really picked him to win the deal. He was in the Cesaro and Swagger three-way match, which didn't really make sense since it was the breakup of Cesaro and Swagger, and we never really got a one-on-one. From there, we also got Damian Sandow, no chance in hell. Alberto Del Rio, no chance in hell. Ryback, I would really love to see this guy get picked. When I was making my videos about the Money in the Bank, I thought this would be an easy way to really redo Ryback. The way that this guy has fallen since he's been tagging with Curtis Axel. I really think that, this is the shot. You put him out there as a singles guy with an Intercontinental Championship. You can easily build him back up to where he's credible as a heel or as a babyface. I think you slap that babyface run on him, and he's easily going to be a guy that everybody in the whole place is cheering for. You can make him into a little bit of a meathead who makes mistakes, but he can whoop some ass, and he doesn't have to win every match. But the fans really love cheering for this guy just a few years ago, and I really think that it's not too late on him. Curtis Axel, no chance in hell. Biggie Langston, if he was to get the strap, it might be like sort of a thank you, and it might be sort of a way to sort of erase the past 2 months of him losing to Rusev on the last two pay-per-views. It might be a good way to get him boosted back up and make people forget about the fact that he lost on two pay-per-views in a row, and would be able to reunite him with his lost Intercontinental Championship from just a little while ago. Dolph Ziggler, I'd really love to see him get any title wrapped around his waist, but to me, honestly, I want to see him, especially after that Money in the Bank performance, get pushed back up in that main event. Even if he's not going after the title, but just be in that, in that name bracket. I don't want to see him hovering around the Intercontinental Championship or the United States Championship. We've seen him in that role for too long, and us as fans have really wanted to see him move on to the next level, especially after WrestleMania 29. It's been so long, and I don't want to see him just put in like Money in the Bank matches every year, sort of as a way to try to get close to that title. Bo Dallas, this could happen. It really could. But then again, with the heat that Bo has and the way they're playing it off, how everybody hates Bo, I could easily see everybody just ganging up on Bo and making him the first elimination from this whole thing. Kofi Kingston, I don't want that. I don't even want to go into it. I'm just not a Kofi fan. I don't want the title on him. And then we got Great Khali making his return. Anytime he's not with a title, I know that he's a heavily paid superstar, and that's one of the reasons we see him on all the shows is that Vince has to pay this guy his downside guarantee, whether if he uses or not. So he's going to put him out there, and he's going to use them, and maybe he helps WWE out in India a little bit. I don't really know. Ravi's a big fan. That's it. But my pick to win this should be your pick as well. Antonio Cesaro is going to be in this match. And I know that, putting the Intercontinental Championship on him is a little bit of a step down. But honestly, the whole time, they've been pushing, Paul Heyman has been coming out and saying that, Brock Lesnar is the 1-21-1, and that he is the guy that ended the Undertaker streak at WrestleMania, and he gets over the fact that Cesaro won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. It's a shame that they're not still carrying around that trophy. You can go back to that Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania with Paul Heyman holding up the huge Andre the Giant off the top of it after Jack Swagger broke in, just still being so proud of the fact that he was the Andre the Giant champion. And I don't want to see him go into a Battle Royal and not win that first Battle Royal since being in there. As I was saying that, I was trying to make sure he wasn't in that Battle Royal on Raw, but I believe he was already in that match from winning a winning a qualifying match, so he wouldn't have been in that one that Roman Reigns won. But in my mind, I think you just sort of keep that gimmick going alive of him being able to win these Battle Royals, always being a threat. Then you can bring that up next year for the Royal Rumble, how he's won the last two big Battle Royals that he's been in, and he's easily one of the number one contenders to go on and win that Royal Rumble to go on to WrestleMania. It's a good storyline to have behind it. Then when you have Brock come back and you have Brock beat Cena at SummerSlam, if that happens, then you have Heyman having two champions in his little stable, or he's got the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, he'd have three belts. They all could wear one. Heyman could come walking down with the World Heavyweight Championship while Brock wears the WWE one, and then you got Cesaro coming down. I want to see this even more now. But, I'm definitely seeing Cesaro win this. I know that more people will probably be named tomorrow on Raw, and we'll see what goes from there. But peace out, everybody. I'm having a good day. Thanks for listening to me rant a little bit about wrestling and get it a little bit out of my system. And I'll go back and finish the rest of the day strong. And maybe I can watch some of them on WWE Network and make a little reviewage later tonight. Peace out, everybody. Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you on my lunch. Enjoying the outside here in Sacramento, California. It's a good hot day. Sorry if my receipt just flew in front of your face there for you, but thought I would complete the circle talking about all of the announced, I guess even the unannounced, because I do have a video up against about Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose, which I guess is going to be added sooner than later to the Battleground card. But I noticed over at WWE.com on the Battleground site that they had added Chris Jericho against Bray Wyatt, already making it a scheduled match. And I know that a lot of people were hoping that they were going to make it Chris Jericho against The Miz, sort of pushing back and having a bigger an effect and a bigger feel to Bray Wyatt versus Chris Jericho happening maybe at SummerSlam. But it looks like The Miz is going to have to go in another direction. You can hope that The Miz is going to be able to find himself and find some sort of a feud before the pay-per-view, or even get him set up for a bigger match at SummerSlam, because he is a guy that I do wish to have a good comeback and build towards a brighter future. I do think he is one of the guys that is the future of the WWE, and I would hate to see him sort of get his run for WrestleMania 27 and never really reach those heights once again. For this match, I have questions about why they're doing Bray Wyatt against Chris Jericho. You go back to Jericho last year, before he left, he did an NXT taping having a match against Bray Wyatt, and that match was openly panned by a lot of people as not being that good. I've seen very few reviews giving that match thumbs up. It just sort of was just flat. I don't know if it just they didn't connect, or if they just didn't plan out what they wanted to do well before they got out there. But to me, it just was sort of like a clusterfuck, sort of just cut and dry wrestling match, nothing really added to it. Chris Jericho coming back to wrestling has been a pretty big story, the way they kept it quiet, and he is a guy that sort of like added to the card, sort of gives it a big feel of those days back in the day when we used to really love it. One of the reasons why they let Rob Van Dam come back a few times every year, just to give the shows a little bit of a spark. But you can even look at Rob Van Dam and what they're doing. They put him out there. They treat him like it's a big deal, living off his ECW days, or maybe even his WWE days back in 2000. What was that? 2001 through 2005-ish, when he was with the company, and he won the Intercontinental Championship a lot. He had the one run with the ECW Championship and the WWE title before he got caught smoking pot with Sabu driving down the road. But to me, honestly, Jericho, he must just, he says he loves wrestling on his podcast. He says he loves wrestling, and that's why he comes back. I just don't really see why he would want to come back for a few months. I don't want to say it's all about the money, but it's got to be a little bit of it, because he's got to know he's not going to be in any high-featured matches. He's not going to be winning the WWE Championship. He's probably not even going to win that many matches. He's probably not even going to win this match at Battleground. You got to think that why would he want to come back? Is WWE just using Chris Jericho in order to maybe give Bray Wyatt a win over somebody who they would call a former champion, with Jericho a former world heavyweight champion back in the day, as well as a WWE, I don't know, to call him a WWE or a WWF champion, whatever it is. It's still the same title somewhere along the way, is Bray Wyatt beating Chris Jericho at Battleground going to be big enough, to make you, forget about the John Cena feuds with the WrestleMania match that everybody thought that was so easy? Have Bray Wyatt win this match in order to make Bray Wyatt a bigger star in the long run. Even if you have John Cena beat Bray Wyatt, in the next 3 pay-per-views in a row, when WrestleMania rolls around, or when, we're 5 years down the road looking at how big of a star Bray Wyatt is, you're always going to remember that Bray Wyatt beat John Cena at WrestleMania. One of those things that just doesn't really happen that often. John Cena has lost WrestleMania matches, but it's few and far in between. It's the biggest moment that everyone remembers. Nobody's really going to remember the matches that are on TV. Nobody's ever really going to remember Extreme Rules with Bray getting the win in the steel cage match. It's just not a match that people are going to remember. So is this match going to be enough high-profile thing to maybe get Bray back to jump on tracks, pushing down the road? Is a lot of people think he's going to be a star for WWE, really big in the future. Whether it's him, taking a turn and going on the babyface run, or him sort of staying heel. To me, I think that Bray Wyatt always delivers a good promo, but to me, maybe the promos are just a little bit long. I don't really understand why Bray Wyatt has a problem with Chris Jericho. I don't know why these two are fighting. I don't really know why Bray Wyatt and John Cena had their beef as long as they did. It sounds good when Bray Wyatt yells out, "Save us, Chris Jericho." But I don't really understand if he really thinks that Chris Jericho thinks he's an idol, much like John Cena did, and he's just trying to tear him down. But that's going to be the match. Honestly, bet all the money in your farm on Bray Wyatt, because he's going to be winning this match at Battleground.